Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the RPAG Scoop. This is for June 2025, and my name is Ashley Passo, the Senior Marketing Specialist here at RPAG. We are halfway through 2025, and this month we're going to be focusing on how to finish out your year strong, with insights on the market, tools that you might not even have known about in the RPAG website, even before you go into the portal, and answers to the questions that our members are asking the most. Whether you are guiding your clients through uncertainty or just want to tighten up your practice, this month's content is designed to help you be more strategic, stay sharp, and be proactive. So let's get into it. To kick things off, we have our Chief Investment Officer, Jeff Elvander, here to give you a market update for our 2025 so far and what he is predicting for the rest of 2025 as far as market trends go. Take it away, Jeff.
Thanks, Ashley. Welcome to our investment update, our mid-year investment update, because mid-year is here. So let's jump into it. So let's look at 2025 so far. Last time we got together at the end of 2024, risk assets were in favor, aggressive glide paths were outperforming. Things have really changed over these last quarter or so. And volatility now is on the rise. Markets, and I put markets in quotes, really investors hate uncertainty. And of course, that's been a lot of the tariff on again, off again, positioning, posturing from the administration. But that does not play well in the markets. And we've seen volatility increase, not only in risk assets, but also rates rise for fixed income, pressuring fixed income investments, which that means they will, as rates rise, their prices go down. And then certainly stocks have been whipsawed back and forth. And maybe as we speak, or as I speak, maybe about even for the year. So we'll see how this goes for the balance of the year. But to date in 2025, again, much different than 2024, where we're seeing the conservative glide paths shine. And those are the ones that do not have as steep a slope per our categorization, nor do they have a high level of risk assets near, at, and even through retirement. And so when you look on at the averages, conservative glide paths have outperformed by about to the tune of as high as 50 basis points over their aggressive glide path counterparts. So certainly important for those folks that are retiring at or near retirement now in those 2025 vintages or even the 2030 vintages. So again, know the risk of the glide path, know how that fits with the demographics. We have a great fit analysis out there to help you with that. And even if you're not doing that, it's great to know what the assumptions are for the glide paths, and we categorize it as follows. And when I say assumptions, I mean the deferral assumptions, because that is very important. And for really folks that are not deferring enough, 6% or lower, those folks and those plans should have aggressive glide paths to help get their participants at a reasonable funded level for retirement. But then on the flip side, for those plans that are rich, high deferral levels, to the extent that they are in the mid double digits, and we think about that as 12% or more, hopefully there is a conservative glide path in there that is not exposing those participants to too much risk, because they are doing and they are funding their retirement to a high degree, and there's some pretty big assets in there that should be protected sort of at, near, and through retirement. And then just finishing up here, traditional fixed income, though, with rates on the rise, those prices are down, and we're seeing a 4.5% roughly yield for 10-year treasuries. And that really is across the entire fixed income market when you look at other types of credits, mortgages, et cetera. So fixed income is not looking that bad right now. So that's 2025. So far as we go. Wanted to also cover what was trending at the moment for the year. And yes, no surprise, mutual funds to CITs. We're really starting to see the groundswell here and see more plans adopt CITs and move away from their, really retail counterpart, which, mutual funds really are more for the retail investor. And with CITs, we'll speak to this in a little bit. This is the third bullet point. You can certainly get better pricing and fees for your plans, and that's one big reason why we're seeing the shift from mutual funds to CITs. Blend target date fund strategies, another thing we're starting to see flows go into and plans adopt to a much higher degree. I think that's probably because of pricing, the mix of index and active, with the index component bringing down fees and making them more competitive. So you're getting the best of both. So something to think about and explore, but those are gaining in popularity, and we're certainly seeing many more blend type of TDF strategies out there. Fees, again, I mentioned it for CITs or collective investment trusts. We're seeing fees come down across the board, whether that's index, active, or even in target date fund strategies. Thanks to the CIT structure, the lower cost structure. Certainly, there's also a better negotiation and more flexibility within that CIT structure to get fees down. And I also have the race to zero. Just recently, Empower announced a 0 basis point S&P 500 in one of their ISA accounts. So now we're starting to see some of the strategies and retirement plans be zero expense. So, well, now we're at zero. Have things played out? I certainly think across the board, when you look at all of the different strategies out there, not just index funds, but active and even blend type of strategies, fees are very low across the board. So it's more important today than ever to really share with your clients the differentiators between index fund. If one is zero, for instance, and another one is 3 basis points, what's the difference if a plan goes with the one that's 3 basis points? There may be some added value there. That one may be returning more. It may be a better index. There may be securities lending. So a lot of things for advisors and plan sponsors to think about. I don't think it's simply picking the lowest cost fund, whether that's an index fund or, again, active or blend fund. So look at the strategy, and that's where we can add value, is sharing that with our clients, with our plan sponsors. International equity is trending. I say here at least one, maybe two. Certainly, we recommend having at least one international fund. We're seeing a lot of these managers out there have growth tilts or value tilts. If your clients have one that may not be quote unquote core or having good exposure to both of those styles, then it may be worthwhile to have two, one that's more value oriented, one that is more growth oriented. And I mentioned this when we got together at the end of last year for 2024, at the beginning of the year for 2024 in review, where the growth style outperformed in the US, but the value style actually outperformed in the global markets or in the international markets, where a lot of folks had growth managers, but having an international value manager would have been much better for participants and investors to have a mix of the two. International equities, also, there's attractive valuations. We mentioned that. And then I have an added bonus here, the currency effect that I wanted to hit on. So as we move to the next slide, you'll see the slide here, the currency effect. Why are international markets gaining steam? Why have we seen them start to rebound? Well, it's not just because of the attractive valuations, but you can look at this chart here where the US dollar, based on a price level, you see the US dollar versus other currencies, and that's the blue line, is fairly high. And that, when you look at international equities, is really translates into a negative or a lower return for US based investors, because what that means is the basket of foreign currencies is really depreciating and going down when you have a strong US dollar. Certainly why we like plans to have a few US equity options, usually large, mid, and small, and why they're more than international. But why international equities? We're hearing a lot more about international equities. They are a great diversifier away from the US markets. But at this point, not a bad place to be when you look at their valuation levels and when you even consider where the US dollar is now compared to other foreign currencies. And this will not last really forever, I don't believe. So this really tends to go, the US dollar does zig and zag with foreign currencies generally. So a great diversifier from that aspect as well. That is it for the mid-year update. And we will see everyone next time for the market review in Q3. Thanks for watching this segment. And now back to Ashley.
Thank you so much, Jeff. And I'm sure that everyone at least got something positive out of that. I definitely learned about the currency effect. That was something that was new to me. Next, we're going to be turning it over to Carlos. He is our relationship manager here at RPAG, and he's going to be telling you about some of the more underutilized or even unknown resources available to you just on the RPAG website. This is before you even go into the portal. This is going to include our webinars page, our blog page, and even some one-pagers that you might not be aware of. Show them what they're missing, Carlos.
Hi, everyone, and thanks for taking the time to join me today. My name is Carlos Penaloza. I'm the relationship manager here at RPAG, and you may have had the chance to actually talk to me when I was an advisor service associate, so there's a good chance that maybe we've chatted before. Today, I'm excited to highlight a powerful resource that contains lots of valuable content and is already available to everybody that's listening in on the scoop. I'm not talking about our amazing advisor portal, but rather the RPAG website. I wanted to showcase what can be done from this page and how it can support financial professionals to get what they need even before they enter in their login credentials. Many bypass the site and go straight to the login button, unaware of what can be leveraged straight from this page. It's not just a page that offers information on RPAG, so let's take a few minutes to take a closer look at some hidden gems that are accessible to you. We've now arrived to the RPAG landing page. From here, there's many resources and tools that are accessible to everyone instantly. We'll start by looking at the homepage here, and if we scroll down a bit, you'll notice that there's a section that speaks on who we are, who we serve, and those members that we assist on the daily. From here, you'll actually notice that there's links that can be clicked on, and by doing so, it'll automatically route you to that designated area. Focusing here on the advisor portal, you'll also be able to click on additional links in order to book meetings with one of our specialists, which will dive into anything that's RPAG related. From here, you have the flexibility of choosing how long you'd like your meeting to be. So whether it's 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour long, you can select those options, your desired date, and of course, the desired time that you'd like to meet with one of us. Throughout the website, you'll also see these icons that'll show here on the bottom right. Clicking these will take you automatically to the top of the page for ease of navigation. You'll also notice that if you'd like to get to the original landing page of RPAG, clicking on the logo will automatically do that for you. Continuing to scroll down on this page, you'll notice that you'll also have access to RPAG by the numbers. So if you're looking to use the RPAG and the power of the brand, you'll be able to use these stats along with your prospects to win business. RPAG regularly updates these numbers, so that way those can be the most current and up-to-date for you. Continuing to scroll down, you'll also see some additional information in regards to the RPAG platform, which also includes links to those specific areas of the site. Now let's take a look at the tabs that are available at the RPAG website as well. So these are really helpful, especially if you're looking to get specific information. Let's start with the training and support. Each of these tabs, once you hover over them, you'll notice that you'll be able to select from the submenus listed below. All of these are great, but we're going to focus on 2 at a time within each section. So within training and support, let's take a look at conferences and events. If you've never had the opportunity to visit one of our national conference events, you definitely are missing out. These are some great events where you can really get to network with all your different peers and also get to know the RPAG team one-on-one. We have a great video here that's loaded that you're able to actually view what last year's looked like. Also, if you continue to scroll down, you'll see some additional events that we have with RPAG as well. These are being enhanced and updated, so more information will come throughout the year on those. Now, if we go to the training and support tab once more, let's take a look at the webinars section. Now, these hold great content in regards to webinars. We have upcoming webinars that will be listed towards the top. So if there's a webinar that's coming up soon, you can select those here from the top. And if there's a webinar that's already occurred, you'll still be able to click on that specific webinar to watch a replay. To do so, you'll just select on that specific webinar. You can scroll down towards the bottom. You'll get a description of what that webinar is about. And then you'll easily see where you can actually click on the play button to rewatch that webinar that's playing. Let's take a look at the next tab, Custom Solutions. And as you notice here, there's a lot of great options to select from that as well. We're going to start with Sales and Marketing. Sales and Marketing dives into our Resource Center. So the Resource Center holds hundreds of great education, retirement-related documents for plan participants, for prospects, or for your clients. If you haven't had a chance to really dive into the Resource Center, there's a lot of great content that you can definitely leverage for your business. Within the Resource Center, you'll also find that there's premium content. And if you're not subscribed to it, you definitely want to do so. You'll have access to additional pieces such as extended presentation decks, consultant RFPs, and so much more. As we continue to scroll down, you'll notice that we also have access to Larkspur through the RPAG portal, which allows you to see data from 5500s. If you're looking to search for plans of a specific size or plan type, you can also do that through the Larkspur system. Scrolling down, you'll also notice that RPAG has access to assist you with corporate sales support. So if you wanted to partner up on a prospect that's very big, that maybe you needed that additional edge, we're more than happy to assist and help you win that business. Let's look at the next tab, which is Premier Technology. This has a lot of great tabs as well that are listed below, and we're going to hover over the RPAG Advisor Portal tab. From here, you'll see a list of various tools and offerings that RPAG has. Let's dive into fiduciary education. Now, you may or may not know that RPAG has what's called the Fiduciary Fitness Program. This is a well-designed decision-making process that documents proper roles, education, and also the execution of responsibilities in a prudent manner. This was built out by our ERISA team and is available within the RPAG platform. Things that are included within the Fiduciary Fitness Program are going to be our education modules and also documentation modules. To dive more into this particular program, you'll be able to download our one-pager straight from the site. And as you can see, the document automatically loads for you, and it has a breakdown or an overview of what the Fiduciary Fitness Program actually is. Taking a look at this document, you'll notice that there's many different approaches that you can take in regards to the Fiduciary Fitness Program. We also have a great fiduciary diagnostic, which will break down which modules have already been presented to your client. Let's go back to the RPAG website, and let's select on one of our other options here. Let's take a look at RFP Express. By going into RFP Express tab, you'll get a lot of great information, including which are the top providers that are participating in the RFP Express tool. This is a great tool and resource for those that are looking to do an RFP, benchmarking, and that are looking to have this report done in a quick and efficient manner. As you can see, you'll see a lot of your top providers here listed, and you'll also be able to download a provider overview, which includes up-to-date providers that are currently participating in this. As we scroll down, you'll also notice that you can book a meeting in order to set up if you'd like to have a demo or a presentation on this particular report. If we scroll back up to the Premier Technology tab, let's take a look at our next section here, which is going to be data feeds. Now, a lot of us love that data that comes in straight from record keepers. And if you'd like, once you scroll into this section here, you'll also be able to see a comprehensive list of which record keepers are participating within our PAL feeds. Now, if there's a record keeper that you don't see listed here, please let us know, and we're more than happy to reach out to get that feed established. As we continue to scroll down, you'll notice that there's also a one-pager available for this particular section. As we click that one-pager, you'll notice that you'll see this plan asset link document here. As we scroll down, you'll be able to see all the different providers that are currently participating in data feeds with RPAG. As we continue to scroll down, you'll notice that we have some great enhancements where different record keepers are actually providing additional data points, not just assets and investments. As time goes on, we're establishing more relationships with our providers and pulling in more data. That way advisors can really maximize our platform. Let's take a look at our next tab, which is going to be the About section. Now, if you've ever been curious about RPAG's history, how our tools have evolved over the years, right here you'll see a timeline of all the different tools that RPAG has grown and really evolved throughout the history with our members. Definitely, you've seen that we've come a long way, so we're really excited to see what's on the horizon with RPAG. Next, let's take a look at our Insights tab. So the Insights tab is really great because this allows you to actually see a blog of RPAG. So if you're looking for a specific topic on a specific subject, you could simply use the search bar, type in that keyword, and you'll automatically see some results populate within the system. As an example, I typed in the word CIT, and then I can see all the different relevant information in regards to CITs. This is great for if you're looking for specific additional information on any particular topic that you'd like to see. So as we scroll down, you'll notice that we have different articles that are available here with the most recent listed at the top, such as the Retire Minute and also the RPAG Scoop. Looking here to the right, you'll see how you can actually sign up for our newsletter. So this is how you can actually get on our email distribution list to receive all our different content and material that we send out on a monthly basis. If you scroll down towards the bottom, you'll see also our different categories. So if you're looking for any specific content, you can click on any of these and it'll automatically direct you to that spot. So if we selected ERISA here, we can scroll down, and now we have relevant information that has to do with ERISA. To sum it up, the RPAG website is your gateway to smarter retirement plan management. Whether you're looking to scale your business, enhance your service offering, or simply compliance, everything you need is right here. Thank you for joining me on this walkthrough. If you have any questions or would like a personalized demo, don't hesitate to reach out to our support team. Back to you, Ashley.
Thank you, Carlos. I think our members will definitely appreciate learning more about where they can access free materials. And to wrap things up, we are bringing on Alexis. She is an advisor service trainer here at RPAG, and she's going to be tackling one of the most talked about topics this month, service plans.
Thanks, Ashley. Hello and welcome to this month's edition of Ask an ASA. My name is Alexis Patenaude, and let's go ahead and take a look at today's questions. So the questions of the month are, what is a service plan and how do I implement service plans for my clients? A service plan is a completely customizable roadmap that allows advisors to show which services they offer, how often they offer them, and what the service exactly is. Here's an example of a sample service plan. On the left, we see our services, then we see our descriptions, what month or how often we plan on offering these services, and then when they are actually implemented. Many of the services offered within the service plan are directly connected to other tools within our RPAG portal. You're also able to add in custom services. Let's go ahead and take a look at how to implement a service plan for a specific client. First, you'll select the client from your Clients and Prospects tab. Scroll down to the Plan card and select View Plan. Once you've reached the Plans page, scrolling down a little bit further will take you to the Service Plan section. Here, you're able to click Create Service Plan, which will then allow you to select a template. If you are unsure what services to offer your clients, you may use the RPAG templates, which we have created based on plan size. If you have a specific service plan template that you would like to use across multiple clients, you're also able to create a template which you would then see within My Templates. If you'd like to start from scratch and create your own service plan, you may select Custom Template. With the RPAG templates, you will see services already selected. You may make adjustments as you wish. If you'd like to add a service, you may click the checkbox next to the service name, or remove it by deselecting the checkbox and confirming. Once you've made your selection of services, you may change the frequency by using the drop-down in the frequency column. You may also make adjustments to the proposed months. Once your service has been scheduled, you will input the scheduled date of the service in the scheduled column. If you'd like to make any adjustments to a specific service, you may click on the pencil icon, which will then open a data field at the very bottom of your page. Here, you are able to rename that service, change the color of the service within your service plan, as well as the font color. Let the system know if you'd like to create a to-do, if this is a core service or not, as well as adjust frequency, proposed meeting month, and the actual meeting date. If you'd like to add a location, you are also able to do so within this section, as well as the description. For services already offered within the RPAG service plan list, you will see a description pre-created. However, the text box is editable and you are able to adjust that description as you wish. You do also have the option to include internal comments and scheduling notes, which will not be visible on the actual downloaded version of the service plan itself. However, you will be able to see them internally. Once you've made those adjustments, you may click Save Service, which will then add it to your service plan. If there's a specific service offered by your firm that you do not see within the services on the left-hand side, you may select Add Service, which would then allow you to input your own custom service. After you've created your full service plan, if you decide this is one that you'd like to use across multiple clients, you are able to select Save as Template to have this service plan appear within your My Templates dropdown. Or you may simply select Save Service Plan, which will implement it for this individual client. If you would like to implement service plans on a mass level, you are able to do so by going to Menu and Company in the right-hand side underneath Admin. You will select your company name and scroll to the very bottom Settings section. You will first select Service Plans from the Settings section. Then you will decide if you'd like to implement an RPAG template or My Template across multiple plans. Once you've made that decision, you are able to select which plans you would like to use that template for. Once those plans are selected, you will then select the year of the service plan. And once that is selected, you are able to select Assign Service Plan Template, which will then implement the service plan across all plans you have selected. Thank you so much for joining me today for June's Ask an ASA segment on service plans. I hope to see you next month. Now back to Ashley.
Thank you, Alexis. And that's a wrap on the June 2025 RPAG Scoop. Thank you to Jeff, Carlos, and Alexis for helping us deliver the insight and clarity that our members definitely love to see. And hopefully you are feeling more prepared moving into the second half of this year. Whether you are adjusting investment conversations, exploring new tools, or answering tough client questions, we have you covered here. And we hope that you learned something from this month's scoop. We'll see you next time on Monday, July 7th. But until then, thank you for watching and being a part of the RPAG community.